Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Role Seekers and the Legend of Nabell. We're a group of local gamers just like you, role play for your enjoyment. My name is Dustin Ritchie, your humble dungeon master, both your best friend and your greatest enemy, and these are the intrepid Role Seekers! Role Seekers! You already see the battle cam. Battle cam! So,
Go to Twitch.
big shout outs to Dwarven Fudge!
Beautiful.
They do not sponsor us, but we love their stuff so very much. But guess who does sponsor us? Wormwood! Wormwood! The amazing screen that you see and all of our awesome accessories are brought to you by Wormwood, so check them out, wormwood.com. They rock. All right, so if this is your first time joining us, we are a home group of Dungeons & Dragons player. Everything is improvised. Everything is role play. It's in our homemade world with our homemade characters.
In our homemade dungeon.
In our homemade dungeon. And we just play to have a good time. So we hope that you will join in on that fun. You can find us basically everywhere at Role Seekers. Roleseekers.com is the place to start. And please follow us on all those different channels. It really helps us out, and we want to connect with you. This is a labor of love. You'll notice an empty seat here. That is Kevin Wesley. He will be here at some point. He's run a little late, so you'll see him meander through, or you'll hear him if you're on a podcast. And without further ado, it is Tuesday night, so let's roll some dice! Roll those dice! Roll those dice! You gotta tell me. Two large oak doors open. The weight can be heard as it screeches along the floor. Surrounded by opulent tapestries, portraits, and red velvet curtains, the room that you enter, Normandy, should feel warm in its splendor, but it doesn't. It is cold. Cold not by temperature, but by the feel of the emotionless vacuum that this house has created in all of its siblings and its ancestral tree. The only real white light that forces its way into the room is coming from behind you, as two sconces burn a kind of triangle of light in a film noir as you walk in it like a path leading toward a very large desk that is the foreground of two large bay windows overlooking the streets below. A very large chair, larger than the man who sits in it, is imposing. It is not a chair that simply is there for comfort, much like the dragon chair behind me, but rather to create a mood. You can hear the tap of a pen on the desk before it stops scrawling a name on a piece of paper you know most likely a death warrant, either economically or mortally. As you approach the table, your father looks rather dejected to see you.
You called for me?
How goes the search for your brother?
It's happening. Not fast, but it's happening.
A deal has come across my desk, one that normally I would reserve for my highest lieutenants, but you have shown promise. I'm curious to know if you are worthy of its attention.
I believe I am.
He slides a piece of paper across the table. What discrepancies do you see?
I'll read it.
It is a ledger of finances, one that you have in the future.
Yeah.
Can you note the discrepancies?
I can find them.
Now,
I will.
investigation.
Oh no. Oh no.
Normandy can do this.
Francis.
Francis can do this.
Francis. What did you say?
Investigation.
Oh. 13?
You cannot.
This is why he's disappointed in you.
Yeah. One of the many,
Yeah.
many reasons.
Gosh.
If I have time for it, I can. It shouldn't be any problem for me.
Very well. Take it.
Grab it?
Francis,
Yes.
I will not be here forever.
I understand that.
He leans over to a small, it looks like a chalice, but it has a lid on top of silver. And he lifts it off, and as he does, light shines out of the chalice. This kind of beautiful white light. It's the only warmth you're now feeling in the room, regardless of the fire burning against the wall. He lifts a small pearl of light and places it in his mouth before shutting the chalice back down. He swallows hard. You were the child who suckled from the tit longer than any other.
And I will prove that to you, to Mother, to the name of the Felricks, that I'm the most worthy of the name Francis Felrick.
I certainly hope so. He turns toward the bay windows, and he stands, pointing without even looking back at you. He wants you to stand next to him.
Next to him.
He overlooks the kind of dark shadows of the city, and you see in the distance the torches of the Athelian light just kind of burning. There are shadows closing in around the Felricks. I know that you are not particularly pleased with our business. I know that you do not believe it is necessary for us to deal with our darker dealings. I assure you, Francis, that sometimes it is necessary to fight the darkness with darkness.
I understand. I may not like it, but I'll have to learn of its necessities.
Stare deep, my son, lest you yourself become a monster. I'm done with you.
So be it. I'll leave the room.
As you exit, the door shutting, you realize that this is probably one of the most your father's talked to you in your life. The wisdom that he has just imparted seems important, but there is an anger in you. it isn't until later that you understand the meaning of his words. And our vision comes to an end. Two heroes go cascading through the
yeah,
torrents of the sewer.
That's you.
Torrents with Torin.
Did anyone tell Kevin the cool shit he did?
What did I do?
Oh yeah, you helped kind
was
of.
that badass?
No,
You should have been here.
I
Sounds
carried,
like you got it.
Sounds like you're gonna watch it.
the entire initiative. Cool.
But before that, you did stop Silas and push him behind a door and break Rubble down by casting some crazy shit.
Cast Wish.
Yeah, dude, you would have
Oh,
access
and
to
you
your
said-
level 8 spells.
Oh.
No, your 8th level
Right, yeah.
spells.
And you said to him, I know who you are when you did it. And then he walked back through. He finally broke the door open. And when he broke the door open, he goes, I know you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Distant.
You might be brothers.
And there's also a kaiju fight.
It was a great kaiju fight.
And really, I think the game's centered around Aaron and his heroics.
Can we get like a who won here?
No, man, you'll have to come
We're
back.
gone.
You gotta come
About
back.
to see the carcass.
So the door to the thieves' den shuts. And from what, as far as you know, the Stygian 7 do not follow. Or maybe they do, you're not sure. 3 of them disappeared before the fight ended. But again, 2 heroes go cascading down the sewer. For a while, Bjorn, your strength is great. And you stay up. Eventually, Torin comes to, and you begin to make your way through the sewer. But eventually, the rapids begin to take you. And as you try to reach toward the sides, they are slippery, and you are unable to get a good grip. As it keeps going, eventually it shoots you under the water, just down into the sewer as you come popping up in a small little alcove, like the kind of looks like a recess pond, where you are able to climb your way out. What would you like to do?
First, I'd like to make sure the Torrent's there with me.
Torin is.
Sorry, I've been in a bit of a fugue state, I guess. I don't know where I am.
Thank you for taking a nap in the middle of all of that.
It was not intentional.
Yeah, I bet. And gonna swim to the nearest convenient surface.
The 2 of you swim. You get your way out of the recess. There's a small little ledge, like a walkway that goes around the recess pond, and then you see sewer tunnels kind of going out in about 6 different directions. You believe you've been in the water for about 8 to 10 minutes, but in that time you could have gone quite a distance.
No light coming from the surface, nothing like
There's
that.
no
right
light,
here?
period. It's very dark down here. You guys' eyes are trying to adjust, but you'll need torches, which are all very wet.
Yeah. Is there any chance you could see in this, Torin?
Yeah, unless it's like a crazy darkness. I'll come behind you, I'll tap you on the shoulder, and I'll give you my eyes of night.
Oh,
So you have dark vision.
There you go. You see
okay.
it in different shades of gray.
are you feeling lucky? You want to pick the direction?
Right-handed search pattern. Let's just start this way. Go to the first tunnel to our right and
Start walking.
As you do, you see, you hear first kind of the jingle of bells and refuse. Images of the creature that they were trying to rope crosses your mind. But as it gets closer, you see this Dark Souls looking mother effer that's looks like they're carrying all of this equipment, and their face is covered in a cowl. And they just kind of they look up and they have a little cane. For those of you, those 80s children, this is very reminiscent of the Labyrinth's trash,
Yes.
trash hoarder.
Yes.
I get it.
Makes sense.
What brings you so far down?
I'm afraid we got a little bit lost and literally carried away. Is there any way you could possibly point us towards the way out of here?
If only I knew. I can take you deeper. If that's where you'd like to go.
Well, we don't necessarily want to go any deeper, but do you know how we could reach the Thieves Guild?
You wish to go to those who steal. I can show you the way. But what is in it for the cataract?
Right. Is that because she can't see, or? Well, I guess we have a little bit of gold. We could purchase your guide.
What use does the cataract have for gold down here in the depths? What can I buy with gold that I will not find in the refuse?
Give her your axe.
I don't think she's gonna want. I'm not giving her my main axe.
Give her the thrice-rooted axe of your forefathers.
That's really not what I heard you say. I'm just saying, you know, she's down there by herself. It's
George starts crying and like unbuttons.
We all have needs. It's the only thing I can offer you.
I think that we may be able to find some sort of deal. What are you looking for?
I am looking for things that are valuable, things that I cannot get on my own. What can you offer?
Well, first, are you selling anything?
Ah, yes, the cataract will barter. What dost thou look for?
Something maybe with a little magical touch?
The cataract does not peddle in the occult. That you would ask me such a thing means you are untrustworthy.
Oh, I don't think that's the case.
Be quick. The cataract grows nervous.
Do you like glints?
Yes, yes, glints in the dark.
Okay. What do you have to trade for one glint?
One glint. It is not enough to keep the darkness at bay. Not down here in the dark. Three glints and I'll take you where you want to go. 3 glints and I will see.
Oh, Jesus. Are we gonna power her up and she's gonna...
How about, I'm sure it gets cold down here under the ground. What if we give you 2 glints and I can give you some of this fire root tea? If you brew it, it really warms up your soul.
I am intrigued by this offer. 2 glints is better than 1. I will take your deal.
All right.
1 and 1?
Sure. Okay.
Ah, yes. The cataract can see. The cataract will take you where it wants you, where you want to go. Ah, watch your step. Beware. Ah, take this. She hands you a small vial filled with a pungent odor. Rub it on the temples, rub it on the points of scent, so you do not smell as fresh, and the black rat will avoid you.
Oh.
Sounds good to me.
Should we use this now?
Unless you wish to die.
Very well. Well, I start like
There seems to be
like
plenty.
nasty, like brute cologne. Just
It smells like hell.
Yep.
Yes, the cataract will take you where you want to go.
is there any left over?
There is enough for maybe 1 person.
Got you.
thanks, man.
Tell the cataract
But I like
what brings you so far down into the depths.
Well, we got kind of caught up in a little bit of a tussle, and we had to make a quick escape, and really the only option was to go under the water, and we kind of got sucked down through the pipe work, and long story short, here we are.
It's like Kevin was here.
An interesting tale, though it says little. I do not see the world the same as obviously you do. I do not care for where you have been, but rather, how did you get here?
Well, my people founded a new town far north of here. We call it New Norn. And my niece is sick, so I decided to try to come to the capital and try to find some medicine for her.
You offer so little. Plights, problems. You do not see. Disappointing. Can you offer me nothing? Nothing worth the cataract's time. Nothing about who you are.
I'm afraid I don't really know much about myself to give. I've just only recently learned that my name is Torin, and that's about as much of me as I know about myself. I come from far away and from a very, very long time ago. My people don't exist anymore. So far as I know, I'm the only one of me that's left. I'm trying to find more answers, and every time I get one answer, I get 5 questions that pop up.
As you say this, she's walking down the corridor and she comes to a fork in the road. And she begins to go down the right and then stops and goes down the left. Ignorance is not an excuse not to know who you are, but admitting it makes you a student. And for that, you can live. Meanwhile, there is heavy panting as the group that has survived the tussle in the sewer make their way down the secret passage leading quite a ways further into the depths of what will be the Thieves' Guild. After about 10 minutes, it gives way to a large open chamber where in the center of it you see the head of a large statue that must go hundreds of feet down. The statue is of a beautiful woman that looks a lot like Eth. You are familiar with this place, as it is the central atrium of the Thieves' Guild. The large room is vacuous and expands for many feet in many directions. But you notice that scaffolding fills the walls and goes high up into the archways of this kind of vaulted ceiling. As you enter in, low fires burn under the kind of makeshift ragtag hovels that now dress this large room. Not necessarily disheveled, but very under the bridge vibes. You notice that people are throwing knives, and you hear the sneers of you see the sneers of several onlookers. There is a kind of pleasurable destitution in this place, a kind of bohemian air of recklessness and bravado. You hear the kind of calls of pleasure in the distance, both laughter and other, as well as a laughter that has the tinge of sickness and addiction to it. Well, it feels like home. Ernan breaks the kind of trance that this place has placed over the rest of the group. But as you walked into the center, standing underneath the looming statue, you see that eyes are upon you. And after a few moments, several stalkers approach. One of them, obviously, a widow.
So, as they're approaching, I am flashing Thieves' Cant, saying they're all with me. There are So this is thieves can't. So they're all with me. There are things happening that could threaten the guild that are bigger than I understand. It's best that it's best that we leave here as soon as possible. It's all sort of hand signals.
Question: how are people reacting to the line being with us?
Oh,
So
yeah.
they haven't reacted a ton yet, but they might not know them. You might want to wait for the widows. They would probably be higher echelons, would maybe know. But they're not approaching the lion. Just so we're all clear, the lion does not look good. He looks drained and haggard, like he is on death's door, almost pulled aloft by invisible strings.
Mm-hmm.
So he might not be much help to you.
Right.
But your thieves' cant is red, and the widow approaches. Her name is Tabitha. Whisper, I did not expect to see you so soon, having given the coin of discharge.
Do I know her? Would I know her before? Have I ever met
You
her?
know several of the widows. Your gran was a widow.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty high-ranking members. They wouldn't often talk with you. They'd talk to people with like Margaret Marigold. But you know
I know her
them.
name.
Yeah.
All right.
You also know the ones that they're male, the kind of the equivalent.
Widower?
Huh?
Widower?
They're not the widowers.
Stock? No.
I've got it written down. I'll try to find it.
Right. Look, Tabitha. It was not my idea. A lot of shit's gone down. We was summoned down here to talk to this bloke, and I gesture towards the lion. He's with the Shadow Dawn, and he let us know that there's big things happening. Like, for instance, Silas Pellegraph can suddenly, I don't even know what he is. He can blast rocks to dust. He can turn arrows to dust. He's not the same person. And honestly, we were just trying to get out of here when suddenly we were attacked by these strange armored creatures. Margaret saw them too. We just had to run.
I understand. She looks over at the lion. The Hidden Father sends his blessings to you. May your roar continue to echo through Gavra. He just nods at her. Extenuating circumstances, then, Whisper. You request passage through the Thieves' Guild?
Right, and we'll be gone like yesterday's rubbish.
It is so strange that you continue to pop up like a weed.
You know, my old Gram, F. Taker, always said I was like a bad penny. You never knew when I was going to turn up.
Yes.
Nice.
I am sorry to hear of the state your gran is in. I wish there was more I could do.
Right. I wish there was too.
Some things are out of our power. Even if it seems that it's not.
Can I do an insight? I want to see if I buy that. That's a natural one.
Oh.
She most likely is lying.
It's amazing what people can do when they really put their minds to it, isn't it?
I think you'll do great things, Whisper. So, we shall grant you passage to the surface. I will send 3 men He points over at Magritte and several of the others. They will get you to the Blooming Lotus. Afterward, I suggest you disappear. This time, for real.
There are two things I think I should mention. One, we heard that the clock tower was destroyed. And I imagine you know what I just learned, which there was some kind of secret society in there. And I think its destruction is part of what I'm talking about, with big things happening. So, I don't know what's up there, but you want to keep an eye on it. Two, there were two blokes with us, and they fell in the water and got swept away. I expect they'll try to get here.
So as you're talking, somebody kind of steps out of the shadows. They are wearing a similar mask to Tavros. It is a residuum. If your friends have fallen into the sewer, they will have come into the clutches, surely, of the cataract.
I know who that is. Would I know the cataract?
I think you would.
Okay.
They're a guide. But like a guide, like an old Greek myth. If they will either guide you to where you need to go, or you will never see the light again.
I'll tell you about these two blokes. I've seen enough of them to feel like they'll make their way here. I think the cataract will prize their company.
If so, we will send them to you. If the cataract does not return them within a few hours, you may presume them lost. They will lead you back to the Blooming Petal.
Are the Shadow Dawn coming with us?
They don't look to be.
Before we leave, like as the group starts to leave, I would turn around and go up to the lion guy and say this, like, not to where everyone can hear me. You're on borrowed time.
As you're walking away, you see the residuum look over to the widow. You let them leave. The Black Queen wants them dead. Yes,
Queen.
but the Hidden Father has granted them passage. About an hour later, a door, like literally like a stone slab, and the two of you find your way directly into the Thieves Guild. About 15 minutes ago, the cataract disappeared without a trace. But you continued down the same road, the same walkway, and eventually came to the Thieves Guild.
You said an hour had passed.
For them an hour.
So,
He
Can I
wouldn't be
s-
there.
what?
The lion won't be in the Thieves Guild.
I don't care about that.
Okay.
Is an hour passed for us?
An hour has passed.
So as time goes by, as we're walking, all of a sudden you'll just see like this almost like whoosh of shadows come back over Veer. And then just keep going. But it would be like somewhat noticeable if you were paying attention.
Like passive perception, or
Yeah, I think you. Will they see this kind of?
If they were paying attention, I think yeah. Like,
Okay, I'll let you decide. How your characters decide on that then. Okay, it's unlikely. So, one number on a D8 that you want.
that I want. An 8. Go for an 8.
two.
You don't know what happens.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. You're brought into the Thieves Guild. You look a little worse for wear, but you see old Magritte. Magritte Marigold approaches you. She's back from taking you to the inn. So I think the inn was like, I think that's about right, because you guys were in the center of town, then you went to, so we're good. So she goes back. Oi! Say, the cataract brought you out of the depths, did she?
So it seems, Margaret, right?
That's right.
Yeah, we met her and she led us back.
Well, she don't always like people, so that means something pretty good then.
I guess she liked our stories.
She do like stories, don't she? Here's a tall glass of water. It's good to see you close up again, love.
Have you seen the rest of our group?
They're waiting for the blooming pedal for you. We told them if you went back in 3 hours to move on without you. Luckily, they're still there.
I'm sure they would be, and that.
It's getting late though, love. About an hour and a half past the middle of the night.
No, that's okay. It's probably best that we move in the night anyways.
Right.
Is the lion around?
No, he left. Took himself back to where he says there's business to be done. Said he needed to warn the others of the Shadow Dawn. Apparently things are moving a little quicker than days anticipated.
You could say that. This destiny is a strange one.
Right, and what makes you so special? Why ain't Margaret being chosen for grand adventures on the high seas?
Well,
Just 'cause you got rippling muscles and blue skin, that make you special?
Well, you're welcome to join us, I suppose.
I would say that maybe one day you'll be unlucky enough to enjoy our adventures.
Oh, I get it. Glorious destiny thrust upon you and whatnot. It's the burden of heroes.
Well, I don't appreciate smelling like shit.
It don't become you either, love. You need a right bath, you do. Ain't gonna get any knickers like that. Unless, of course, she kind of takes a minute and then backs away from the idea.
Margaret, it's been wonderful talking. Would you like to take us to the Blooming Petal?
Like to know, but I also am blessed with glorious destiny, so I'll do it. Oh, the plight of heroes. I'm gonna have to smell you the whole way. She and 3 others will take you. As you enter, there is a gaudiness and jovialness not shared perhaps by the rest of the companions as they go down to change and wash. But the tavern is alive with merriment at this age-old hour of 2 in the morning. But this house does not sleep.
Nice. The butler, the concierge.
What's his name?
I can't remember. Lore Master.
Courtier.
Courtier. I'm gonna go straight to
'Cause
Courtier.
he's the worst.
Good evening, Courtier.
Yes.
Can you please?
I shall immediately inform your friends that you have returned. Might I say, jubilation, jubilation, jubilation. The snake bath has been readied for you. Please.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful. And I think you and I would head straight up.
Oh, wait, it's the snake room?
So as you enter the snake room looks different. Along the walls, there is a low fire burning, and the sense of like rose is wafting in the air as the water of the snake room is bubbling with a kind of effervescence. It's as though they turned the room on. There is there in the corner there is a celloist playing a long melody, and then there are different members of both the group and others in various states of undress, enjoying themselves in the snake room lounge.
I feel maybe is there a place for me to hose off before getting to the proper bath? I feel like I would just taint everything.
Yes, of course, Sam. Righto. He points to the side, and you see basically a locker room.
There's a fire hose.
I'll just go to the shower and just in my armor and I'll just turn it on and try and get as much of the
Just imagine
muck off as
It's like Joe Dirt. I got the poo on me.
Oh my
that's all I can think about.
I mean, that's probably
she
pretty
basically gave us like just like distilled garbage.
After you were
Alright, so
already
where
swimming in a
Yeah,
sewer.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your body
But
sprayed.
you got past the
Yeah.
black rat, so that's
Yeah.
Black rat.
Like that.
I love the black rat.
You just pulled that one straight out of your ass, and it was amazing.
I would definitely, there would definitely be some questions among us walking back too.
yeah.
Or,
So
like,
we
once
can.
you-
So we'll do a jump back just so that way you guys can have your moment,
yeah.
and then ideally we'll all reconvene.
Yeah.
But on your way back, gang, what do you want to do? The other group. So we're jumping back about an hour.
Well,
I'm trying to get pirate music.
Whisper, what is this? Why do you keep saying about your Graham Eth Taker? Did she die?
No, but she's about to and like get drunk.
Know any of that?
Oh, I don't.
No, we don't. He's never
haven't said
shared a
any of
fucking
that.
thing.
Ladies, honestly, unless Whisper, of course, you all.
No, it's definitely weird because you didn't say that before. Now you haven't talked about her since you went there, and now you're acting like she's dead. So
You know how there's things from your past that you don't like to share?
Yes.
not
No?
exactly.
Alright, what about you tell us about those shadows that just like flew up your bum? What was that?
Oh, like right now.
Yeah, right.
So when I helped the lion, that was I had to essentially borrow the life force to give him, and it came back.
What, you borrowed from yourself?
No, not exactly.
Well, from who then?
From the from the universe.
What,
There's a
What,
very-
what you said? I'm in the universe.
wrong,
I'm in
you're
the
wrong.
bloody universe. Did you borrow from me?
So essentially, I don't understand completely the magic that I've been, I guess, blessed with, but from what I'm figuring out is it's almost like Umtharis is lending this life force for me to help people, but it comes at a bigger cost.
We don't know who Umtharis is, right?
Who's in Tharis?
That's my that's the god that my people follow.
Elaborate.
Well, they're essentially they would probably be the goddess of death, the god of death.
So,
It's coming together now.
but not nicely.
I
Yeah.
The goddess of
I'm
death?
telling-
You worship the goddess of death.
yes, she brings balance to the universe.
Well,
Like there has to be balance between life and death.
So you have.
alright.
So I'm telling you, this magic can take life force from other beings, but that's not what this is. But when you borrow something like that, it has to go in balance and there's a price. And I let him know that before we left.
So is he gonna die?
Well, that life, unless someone else helps him, that life force will leave him. It did when the shadows came back.
So like, he's probably dead then.
Unless he's with somebody that can help him.
But like he
But-
was stabbed straight through, so like
So he should have been dead then.
so you gave him like some more time then.
Yeah,
It's like borrowed time.
like-
yeah, that's what I said.
So you worship the god of like loners. Loners of time.
So you like a.
If you want to look at it that way, that's fine.
Alright, look, I'll say this once, so we never have to talk about this again. You've probably gotten the idea that I'm not really on the ins anymore with the Thieves Guild. You
doesn't seem like
probably
it.
got it.
Honestly,
right?
I thought you handled yourself pretty well, given the circumstances.
Yeah, I suppose I still have my head on my shoulders. So
that's
yeah,
right.
that came at a cost. Yeah, what? And that cost was probably my Graham's life. So, yes, Eth take her, because I couldn't save her. The fucking Thieves Guilds wouldn't save her. So all I have left is her memory and what she taught me. Is that good enough for you?
I didn't mean to get you all upset. This is not something that would upset most people I know, and I know this probably is like you don't care about this, but, and I'll grab my bag. This is the special mushrooms we eat when we lose a loved one and they go to be with Amtharis. You don't have to eat it, but it's in my culture what we would give.
I appreciate the gesture, but here's the thing. I don't even know if she's dead. I just know she sent me away, and I'm trying to do right by her. I'm trying to do right by her memory. I hope she's still with us. So keep your mushroom until I know better.
Okay, deal, but if we need to go back and try to save her, then you just let us know if she's just in a bad situation.
I think she would hate me forever for disobeying her if we did that. What I need to do is stick with you lot and figure out what it is that we're caught up in and try and find a way out. That's all I got.
That's how our culture is too. You definitely obey your elders, so.
Well, I obey that elder.
I'm terribly sorry.
Not this guy. This elder can go.
I do feel partly responsible for your gram, but I am terribly sorry.
Howard.
Felric things.
All right, we'll just put a lid on that
Yeah.
one. We'll keep going. Whisper, can I talk to you a second?
Yeah.
I just need to talk to you for a second. I've got to get something off my chest. What the fuck is up with all the mushrooms?
I know, right? It's like.
Like the big guy's eating mushrooms, he's getting all big. It's like some kind of effing wonderland.
I know. I'm most of the time you just want to like scrape those things off, right?
Oh, honest to God, I eat it in like Farfalle or some shit, and not this.
Well, I just know I've seen what some of her mushrooms can do when she frees people. I don't think I'm going to eat one of those
death
mushrooms.
is freaking
Real,
ahead,
it's
you know what
right.
I'm
Yeah.
saying. All right, I just need to get it off my... It's not going crazy, Emma.
No,
There's
no, I've seen
mushrooms
it too.
everywhere. I fight an effing mushroom just like walking around with arms and legs or some shit. You'd be like, eat me, eat me. I just can't deal with it no more. About an hour passes and you find yourselves in the snake lounge. To your amazement, Bjorn and Torin walk in.
I was just about to dive in after you when I saw that you were fine and swimming like a pro, and so I thought the best thing you can do is like make sure you get back to the rendezvous point.
Without saying a word before we go to the locker room, I bring you in for the biggest bear hug ever.
Aww.
And just a huge
Smelling
hug,
like shit?
but then you start to smell me, and I kind of just rub it a little bit into my, like, furs. Oh.
Nice.
So sitting
Thank
in the
you,
bath,
Whiskey.
kind of like naked, like down, just like, Bjorn, good to see you, mate. We're even.
I just kind of like...
So two things here. One, when are you getting the ship? And two, who's the Black Queen?
Do I know that name?
No.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
what? I've never heard of it. I mean, when you play chess, there's like a white queen and a black queen.
She doesn't mean that.
You know how to play chess.
You're in the chat.
Oh, I've seen it.
I'll have to teach you sometime.
I'd like that.
Anyone? No? No,
No,
one
that's
knows
not it.
this name?
Where did you hear that name?
Well, apparently that's the one that's trying to kill us.
How do you know that?
I'm really good at, like, everything that I do, so...
You didn't do anything. Like, what did you do?
Exactly, that's how good I am, Veer. I overheard it, and...
The worst.
From who?
The worst.
I don't know, that widower lady said it. Well, no, she didn't say it. The guy with, like, the weird mask that talked funny, he said it to her. And then she was like, yeah, you're right, but the father that's hidden. granted them passage, so we're gonna be okay with them. And so yeah, there's this Black Queen that wants us dead.
I guess long live the patriarchy.
Well, I think she's just gonna have to get in line.
But she's the one who had the hit out on us, essentially.
I'm thinking so, but maybe that's why the lion wanted us to go into hiding, because she's like the know-all.
Suppose even more of a reason to get out of the city.
I think we should go find the captain.
I'm sitting next to you, and I feel like we're just not talking. We're just.
I just kind of sink down into the water, just like so. It's like
Like right
below
up
my
to your
eyes.
nose.
just collecting.
I pop up over. What the fuck was that thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
So I'm gonna come into the water to you guys. We're all in the water. Look, I don't know if you weren't there, but I've got to tell you, it took all I could do to talk my way out of the Thieves Guild, and I kind of promised we'd get the hell out of town. So I think we gotta go to bed. We gotta get the captain. We gotta shove off like first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you how that meeting back up with that old crowd, how that went down.
It wasn't all warm and fuzzy. It wasn't like coming in the blooming petal, I'll tell you that.
The original plan was that we leave for the boat tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Are we
Also,
taking
we don't know how
anyone
long the
with us?
quartermaster's going to be there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe we could rest on the boat. But, are we taking anyone with us?
Yeah, well, we have to get your little girl, and we have to get that one other little sassy girl that I really like.
So Aaron is going to chime in then. So I've got something to say about this whole thing. If what you're saying's true, if what you're saying's true, and a raven somehow materialized into another creature, do we think it is still the raven?
Well, from what it looked like, that guard that guard was still part of the armor, but it seems like the armor's the actual creature, and the body's sort of just using to manifest itself onto.
Why I'm bringing it up is, what if they get the memories?
And it also knew Thorin,
That seems weirder than...
because no one knows Thorin.
What if it's got two memories? What if it's got whatever it is
What if...
and whatever it becomes?
What if it...
I've seen in these visions I've seen the armor before. Whatever those creatures are. I don't know if it's whatever's wearing the armor or the armor itself, but they've been around for a very long time.
Why don't I go find Snake Eye and ask him to start preparing his men?
We'll go find Zara.
Sandra.
Yep.
I'd be going.
It's about 3 a.m. You do hear that in the actual bar lounge, the tempo has gone real low. You hear some very sultry singing coming, most likely from Lily, who seems to have stirred the hearts of the pirates. She's getting her kicks this week simply in the show, maybe not necessarily anything else. As you walk down, you see sitting at one of the tables, Xandra, flipping a coin into a cup. As she does, she's watching intently as Lily performs and seems to be mesmerized by the performance, almost, or at least pretending that she doesn't see you come up. As soon as you get to the table, she kicks a chair out from the table and offers you a seat.
Thank you. Sandra, correct?
Yes.
You know where Snake Eye is?
Not positive, but I don't keep tabs on him all the time. He's a rather rambunctious fellow. My friends tell me that you've run into some trouble. Got attacked by the Stygian 7.
Do you
The
know?
Black
what?
suits of armor?
That's what they call themselves.
Then I guess we did.
That's not great.
Oh. How do you know of them?
How long you got?
Well, not very. We have a ship that's waiting for us.
We've got one. All right. Can we go in the morning?
We have to leave now.
Is it a hurry up and wait scenario, or do we actually have to go?
No, we actually have to go. There's someone after us that's trying to kill us, and we're supposed to give up our identity and pretend that we're all dead.
That's easy to do. But, like...
Is it the 7?
I think they have a part of it. And a black queen.
Yeah, it's 2 parts. It's a Stygian 7. And like she said, the Black Queen, which we don't know anything about either.
Shut up. She closes her eyes. And as she does, at least for you, the singing in the room kind of starts like almost like it just kind of everything starts to slow down around her. Her eyes open and you see stars inside of them. She kind of blanks out. We're not safe, but we will be tonight. She stands up and walks toward the door.
What the fuck was that?
Besides, what was that?
God.
You don't hear that though.
I'm gonna keep that to myself for now.
And our game comes to an
Wow. Oh, man.
Oh no.
That's where we gotta stop. I can't.
Are you coming to the second
Yeah,
half of
it's
the
too
next
good.
game?
I'll be the whole thing.
Oh,
it
you
turns
will?
out it's early. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. Awesome.
So that's our game.
Wow.
We're ending a little bit early, but I can't beat that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we do have a few minutes. If people want to take, we can maybe take like a couple minutes of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, and
Done.
you are.
The smoke, gray clouds of fire and ash that burn the skies of Tyve, mountains of iron, seas of bone, in hardships we must strive. Though I still know the songs from yore of virtue, hope, and light, but I have ne'er seen their like, for darkness is our plight. Oh, thrum, thrum, hear the hum of heartbeat, chain, and ire. Steel your courage to the mast or throw it on the pyre. The cold, sharp winds bring pain and death. These harsh lands we survive. Our warmth, it comes from hearth and home, but never from the skies. Oh, Tyve, 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 you'll never leave alive. This place is all our prison, but one where you can thrive. And you can wail against those gods and pillage, scream, and fight. But fear the darkness in this land, for it is born of light. Oh, Tyve, 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 we're proud to be alive. And you can say we've lost our minds or laugh and call us mad. But this place has become our home, so you'll never see us sad. The smoke, gray clouds of fire and ash that burn the skies of Tyve, mountains of iron, seas of bone, in hardships we must strive. Though I still know the songs from yore of virtue, hope, and light, but I have ne'er seen their sight, for darkness is our plight. Oh, thrum, thrum, hear the hum of heartbeat, chain, and ire. We'll pour a drink for Tyve, our love, until we all expire. We'll pour a drink for Tyve, our love, until we all expire.